I was looking up a few stuff on the internet this afternoon when I came across this very sad news of the death of Fahim Saleh, the CEO of Gokada. It's possible you don't know him by name, but you probably have heard of Gokada. Gokada is a bike-hailing app that started operations in Lagos a few years back. If not for the recent ban of commercial motorcycles in Lagos, Gokada was taking over the whole scene. In fact, because of the way people in Lagos relied on commercial motorcycles to get into certain places that could be non-motorable, the service app was already taking the industry in a very special way. Now, Fahim Saleh, the founder of this startup, is dead. Not in Nigeria. He didn't die in Nigeria. He died in New York in his Manhattan Lower East Side apartment. Now, the circumstances surrounding his death have been raising a number of questions. And as of now, the police is still investigating the circumstances that may have led to his death, or the circumstances that may have led to the attack which he died from. Okay, what we know so far is that a surveillance video showed him getting into the elevator and a man clad in black, all black suits, black mask and black gloves getting into the elevator with him. And this elevator leads directly into his apartment, so it's believed that whoever this man is that went into the elevator with him was the one responsible for his death. Currently, like I said before, the police are still investigating the circumstances surrounding his death. Gokada has gone ahead to release a tweet acknowledging that the death is real, because at first when I heard this news, it sounded like some of those suspense-filled movies that you see on Netflix, but this is not one of them. I mean, some of those ones where someone fakes their death and then goes on to live a new life or to begin a new life in some other country. This is not part of that, because it was his own sister, Fahim's sister, who discovered his dead body. In fact, she didn't discover this dead body as a whole. When she got into his apartment, following the fact that they've tried to reach him on Tuesday and couldn't, she had visited his apartment and she discovered that his hands and head have been cut off has been cut out of the body and placed in other rooms in the house. In fact, when she called the police and the police arrived, there were a lot of plastic bags littered all over the place, and the police suspects that whoever is responsible for this incident, for this attack, might have been trying to clear the evidences of their presence in that apartment before Fahim's sister entered. You know, this reminds me of what happened sometime earlier in the year, or was it late last year? What's this guy's name? I've forgotten his name, who imports the Sumek Fireman generator brands. You know, we discovered over the news that he had died and was buried by the men who attacked and killed him. His limbs, his body parts were cut into pieces and put into a bag and buried somewhere. If not for the police who continued the investigation, we wouldn't have known where that man's whereabouts up till date. So could it be what Fahim's attacker was trying to do? Could it be that he was up to cutting his body parts so that he can bury it and then nobody would know Fahim's whereabouts? Nobody knows. But that was exactly what came to my mind when I heard or when I read that there were a lot of plastic bags in the house, and that the police seems to be suspecting that whoever is responsible was trying to clean up the evidences. There are a few things that I would like to pick out from Fahim's death. Fahim began a business when he was a high schooler. There was this website he built. There was this website, prankdial.com, that is said to have generated as much as $50 million by the year 2018. He developed this website as a high schooler. When we look at the Nigerian situation right now, how many high schoolers have acquired the training in school or otherwise to produce something as profitable as this? But this is Fahim. As at a young age, he was able to have received enough training to be able to pull such a feat. And then we are not talking about 50,000 naira, we're not talking about 50 million naira, we're talking about $50 million. This is the amount that this business had raised as far back as 2018. Now in 2019, this same guy had raised $5.3 million from as seed capital for the GokadaNG startup. So I see this guy as a very inspiring fellow for young entrepreneurs in Nigeria and all over the world. His death is something that should touch every one of us, because we don't come across somebody like this every day in Nigeria. Particularly, I'm struck by the fact that since he started operating his business in Nigeria, there has never been a time he came out, having gotten so used with the Nigerian way of doing things and some of the bad things a lot of foreigners might experience about us and talk about us. He has never come out to talk about how Nigerians are corrupt, how doing business in Nigeria is bad. He has been supportive. He blended into the ecosystem and he's been helping guys. In fact, the GokadaNG startup has employed over 800 people. As of the time of its launch, over 800 people were employed by the startup. So is Fahim someone we should miss? Yes, definitely. Another thing I want to point out is that his sister went looking for him. Some of us, we move from one location to the other and then our family members don't even know where we are. Sometimes we intentionally keep away from our family members. We keep away from people who care about us. We don't keep in touch and all of that. If Fahim's sister had not appeared at that time, because they were used to hearing from Fahim, and then they didn't hear from Fahim within a period of time, she went to check. The police believes that some of the evidences that could be recovered is something that whoever committed this crime was trying to hide. And then the presence of Fahim's sister at this time helped to cause whoever perpetrated this act to look for a way to escape. The electric sword that could have been used to mutilate part of Fahim's body was seen still plugged into the wall socket. So it's possible that whoever committed this crime was still there perpetrating his crime when Fahim's sister came in. And I pray that whatever evidences that could lead to the apprehension of this individual will still be found at the scene. I pray that he was not able to erase evidences of who he is and whatever can make the police get a hold of him. From the tweet released by the GokadaNG group, you can see that they believe Fahim to be an inspiring and motivational leader. You know, there are people who are at the helm of affairs at one place or the other, their workplaces or whatever organization where they currently head a team of people who will never be missed because of how they handle their team. Not somebody like Fahim. Fahim's team already misses him. In fact, when the ban on commercial motorcycles happened in Lagos, Fahim made a video in which, on behalf of the employees of Gokada, he was asking the government, he was begging the government to lift the ban. This is somebody who came out in front because of his people. His people are definitely going to miss him. I don't know if being like Fahim should be the goal of everybody, but being somebody like Fahim is somewhere to start with for every young Nigerian. The zeal, the determination, the innovation, the lightheartedness, the kindness, and all of that. I wish I had more to say about this, but hopefully I'll continue following the news to see what the police uncovers about the crime scene, discoveries of the crime scene, and who may have committed this crime. I hope they are caught. So thank you for watching this video. Until we meet again, stay cool and safe.